नमस्ते सर। नमस्ते सर।
नमस्कार नमस्कार।
Morning, Rai sir. Good morning, Ajay ji.
Very good morning.
Morning, Vijay.
Vijay, since Ajay is here, let vote of thanks be from him only.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yesterday there was some confusion whether he is to be able to join or not. I thought he was traveling. Let that be there.
Can you unmute yourself and check whether your mic is working audible?
Thank you. Okay.
Check if your voice is able to be heard properly. Can you hear me, Gulam? Can you unmute yourself to check? Okay.
Gulam, please speak.
Hello, everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Have you? Preparation. I was. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We can start with that. Better put the schedule as you know, after that.
भाई सुनील जी आए नहीं
आगे सर आगे पूरा हम ले लेते हैं जैसा भी जाने हैं लेक्चर
Please sit down, everyone. Please, better.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर
Good morning.
morning sir
Very good morning, all of you. I am Prem Kumar. I am your host for the Metaverse inauguration today. We have a great pleasure in having Mr. Sunil Kant Munjal with us. He is chairman of Euro Enterprise, as you know, BCM Foundation and MBCIE. It's a matter of privilege and delight that one of India's most prominent thought leaders. And I wish, this is my personal wish, sir, the government listens to you more and incorporate your thoughts in philosophy, in policy. He's one of the very, very influential thought leaders. We just attended a very well attended and very well covered event which Mr. Sunil Munjal led. It was actually preparing India for the post-pandemic period. I am very happy that you are here with us to pave our path to the new world of Metaverse. Thank you for being with us today morning, sir. Welcome, Mr. S.K. Rai, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, Hero Cycles Limited. And thank you for anchoring the MBCIE verse. I also welcome Dr. Paramjit Kaur. She is there. And Dr. Vandana Shahi, Principal, BCM School. Mr. D.P. Guleria, Mr. J.P. Singh, Mrs. Niru Koda, Shivani Sachdeva, and Dr. Monica Dua. They are leading educational thinkers in the city. And incidentally, Dr. Paramjit and Dr. Vandana Shahi will also share their thoughts on how they are integrating education in their schools. We have Dr. Vijay Venkatesh from BCU and Mr. Gulong Zong from China. Both Vijay and Gulong have architected the Metaverse courses, sir, and they will be seeing through the courses with the students. Dr. Vijay has taken great care in importing some equipment from UK to set up this lab. This is the first physical lab of this kind in this region. I extend a very warm welcome to the business leaders, principals, and faculty members and distinguished guests from various institutions who have joined us physically and virtually. A special welcome to the first cohort of students. They are students from BCM institutions. They have joined the first batch for the understanding of VR technologies. Incidentally, on the courses, I would like to add, we have two programs, and it was Mr. Rai's original thought that we begin with the school student first and then follow up with professionals and industry. So we approached the schools, and they very willingly, they were excited. They visited the lab. Their teachers and coordinator visited the lab, experienced themselves. Dr. Paramjit spent, I think, 2-3 hours with us that day, and all others. So they have themselves realized that this is what is going to be the future, and it has immense applications and new opportunities for the education, for learning teaching processes. So a special welcome to the first batch of students who have joined the program. I'm sure you will find it both exciting and fantastic to journey. Metaverse is here and is changing the way we live, work, and entertain. Are we there is the question. So I've been reading a lot of literature on metaverse. There's no standard definition of metaverse as yet, but we thought we should not wait for the definition to come. And most of the institutions, thought leaders, and industrial organizations are actually taking steps. Sir, I like to mention that there is a new position called Chief Metaverse Officer in many organizations. The task of this gentleman is to facilitate the understanding and advise clients on how metaverse is going to shape. So this is an opportunity for our region in Punjab and neighboring region, where we are expecting to reach the students and the professionals to have an early start in building their own metaverse, understanding metaverse technologies like AR, VR, XR, and mixed reality. Many people feel it is fleeting. So if you come across the discussions, you will see that people think it is like a fad and it will go soon. But most people agree, and I shared with you the McKinsey paper also. The McKinsey and other thought leaders on this area feel that this is where both the physical and the virtual world will converge. And I'm looking to that possibilities of convergence of physical and virtual world beginning today. Thank you very much. I now invite Mr. S.K. Rai, who has anchored us all along this journey, to build his perspective. Raisa? Sir, unmute, please.
So you have to unmute me.
You are unmuted.
We can hear you now.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Prem Kumar. And thank you, Sunil, to agree just after landing from UK and joining this program. And at the same time, my apologies. I beg my apologies for not being physically present for some reason. But I just can't miss this kind of program. So I start with a very warm welcome for this 16-week training program, where we have almost 80 students from the 4 institutions. And this program is being conducted along with BCU faculty. One of them will be present today. Metaverse per se is very fluid. Today we cannot say what is it there, and we have been debating whether we should do it as premature or not. But 2 things were there compelling. One, that we have established a state-of-art laboratory in our campus, which will be dealing with AR, VR, and these boys will get trained into it. And by getting into the metaverse, you will have first mover advantage. Today, not in North India, I won't know about South. South, we are going to conduct a program for 60 students there. Vijay will be able to go there and do that. But for the North India, to best of my knowledge, this is the first of its kind of program. Okay. This program that you see is not one or not the only. It is part of the mental, as a part of the direction taken by Mr. Sunil Manjar. when he took over, and when the mental, I would not took over, I will not, I use the wrong word. When he took over the mental of BCM from the first generation. His direction was very clear and without any ambiguity. He said we should touch about everything because education as it is very fluid. So BCM should mold itself, change itself, and plan itself to be in touch with the latest thing it is happening. And entire spectrum. We started with preschool. Preschool had come to a shape. There are now 75 students and doing very well. I must thank my team here, plus Geeta Punjabi from Bombay, who conceptualized it. Geeta is not here today, otherwise I would have thanked her personally. Geeta has been involved with most of the big institutions, the big house institutions, preschools, and she passed her entire knowledge to this school. We tried, have always been saying, for my principle without any disrespect, that BCM requires to add some value. Except Paramjit ji, who thinks I make her life miserable by telling that this student or that student require admission. I don't have much pressure from any institution. Therefore, I always think that BCM requires some valuation. We tried to make it a technology institution. We signed an agreement with the Stampedia, and we signed another agreement with IISC Bangalore, which is known as the Art Park. Somehow, my own gut feel is that schools are so much loaded by the syllabus that they couldn't do justice to it. But that was one part. The second part was that all the three institutions have now started and have clearly created a very good tinkering labs. If you remember when Claudian was here, he instituted two kinds of trophies. One for the inter-school comparison between 3 or 4 of us. I would say Dr. Paramjit Kaur also has that here. So that we will compete and do that. And other was the intercity. The trophy, etc., will come from BCU. At that point of time, if I remember correctly, Dr. Vandana Shahi was in charge for holding once in a year or 6 months, after 6 months, the competition between the BCM schools. And Dr. Guleria, I thought, took the responsibility of organizing at least once in a year intercity competition. That has still not shaped, but things are coming, and I'm sure the tinkering lab of BCM will add great value to the city. So please, Vandana ji, I again request you to kindly take it up and get started on this. At least one competition, when Sunil will come, we will get somebody from BCU, and the trophies will be named after the Birmingham City University. Okay, so the next part, which is far more important and it is taking shape, is the undergraduate and postgraduate. A team of 8 to 10 people are visiting within next a couple of weeks, and I'm sure by September we would have a batch of first 100 students joining at the undergraduate class. We have planned in a way that for next 3 years or 4 years, till the batches are about 300 people, this building will be adequate. We'll do some refurbishing for the first floor, and we will bring out a state-of-art university with the help of Birmingham City University, which, rest assured, will not be touching on any general topics that the university is doing here. But at the same time, as I said, the technology edge has to be brought to this state, to this city, to make sure that Punjab doesn't lose this particular area. And the lab that I think Sunil has seen this morning, I invite all of you to have a look at it, will add value to it. We are starting there, we have done some courses there, but we will focus on it. This Metaverse program will run for almost 16 weeks. In between, we'll do other courses also. And let me just clarify what I said. The Stampedia and Art Pack, the two agreements that we have signed, are very important for me. And I have been talking to Dr. Prem Kumar and Vijay and other team that we will take it out from the schools. They can't do justice to this, and bring to MBCIE, and from there we impart to the schools. Let's reverse this process. But we are working out the mechanism and see how these two collaborations, which I think STEMpedia had when it started at 4 lakh people registered for coding and the artificial intelligence. But somehow we have not been able to maintain them. We need to do this. We have to start right from the beginning as per the mandate of release that we should try to touch every single aspect. This is what we are doing it here. By next 6 months or so, you will see a shape coming into what we have started. I leave it here. Sunilji is very hard pressed here to go to the convocation by saying, and I firmly believe, "Aao ki koi ख्वाब bune hum." You see, imagine when we started touching, we couldn't think that we will have such a wide spectrum in that. But that was the ख्वाब that was built. "Aao ki koi ख्वाब bune hum, आओ ki koi ख्वाब bune hum, kal ke वास्ते, वरना ये रास्ते तो बहुत संगीन है." So, in spite of all toughnesses that India has faced in it, if we take initiatives, try to do something new and better, where we can contribute will be the great contribution of this year. I welcome you all once again. I request all of you to utilize this facility. Call anybody and everybody who's friend of you to bring it over here. Show them that the things are much more bigger and greater than a syllabi only or syllabus only. That's also important. The results are also important. But somewhere there, we must also add value to this year. So this is one area which should have been the first focus, but somehow it is still not taken the shape. The moment BCM institution, barring Paranjit Kaurji is here, barring the Shastri Nagar institutions, we have to add a lot of value to our other institutions. Dr. Guleria institution is also doing better. But all the three must be a very shining example of a contribution of BCM to this city. Plus, added, and their students must come here and participate. So I close it here. Dr. Prem Kumar, thank you once again for inviting me to do the opening. I thought that it is better to cover the entire spectrum rather than focus on Metaverse. I leave it here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing the perspective and your vision for the PCM Foundation and MBCI. We look forward to an exciting journey with you. I mentioned about the two courses which have been architected by both Vijay and Mr. Gulong is with you. Gulong is a researcher in AR/VR technologies, trained in UK, but is presently based in China. He is joining us from China. So he will also be escorting the students in this training of 4 weeks that we are starting today. I request Mr. Gulong Zong and Dr. Vijay Venkatesh to take over now, share the design of the programs with you. Thank you.
Hi, morning everyone, and my special thanks to Sunil Kankunjalji for being here. It's an honor, and this is a great morning to be here. This gives a very good positive energy for me to why I'm here. So thanks for each and everybody who have come today. So what me and Golong we decided was we're not going to talk about Metaverse. We're going to talk about why we are here and what exactly we would like to offer. So we have timed it in a way that, we will get you through. So first of all, we want to cover, as I said, why we are here. myself and Gulong, where we are come from and what we are trying to, achieve here, working along with people like Dr. Prem and Roy sir. And obviously, Gulong, again, he's been working in this technology along with me for past 8 years. So we also want to make it very, very simplified. What is Metaverse and what are the key elements? And then going forward, giving you an insight of what the courses that we have developed. So we come from a very small lab called Knowledge-Based Engineering Lab. This is based in Birmingham City University. Knowledge-Based Engineering Lab is a sandbox for Rolls-Royce. So Rolls-Royce has two sandbox institutes. One is Southampton, another one is Birmingham City University. So we have like researchers from all around the world who are funded by Rolls-Royce, who do PhDs with Rolls-Royce with cutting edge technology. So these are the technologies that not yet in the market or commercialized. So this is the lab that we come from. Golong, again, is from the same lab. So we work with companies like JLR. So our last project was with JLR, where we developed for them an VR-based training system. And recently, 2 months back, we finished a project for farmers using game-based decision support in terms of how to grow algae by making use of the home waste. So this is what we, as a lab, concentrate. But the gentleman you see with the long hair and beard, he's Professor Craig Chapman. He's our professor who started the lab. But in 2016, he retired. And his one of the unfulfilled dream was to take the technology to young people and then showcase them. He always believed whatever that we do are some of the tools and hardwares that comes 5 years down the line or even 6 years down the line. But he always visioned we have to actually take this to young people, because by the time they finish, they are actually well prepared. So myself and Gulong working along with other, I had a great difficulty to fill his shoes, but we did it with our most, strength to go in for schools and colleges, run lots of sessions. So along doing the projects from 2016, we traveled around West Midlands, visiting schools. I remember carrying, now the headsets are very small. That time the headsets are huge with lots of wire, carrying everything, setting up to them. But what made the biggest difference is whatever about the technology, whether you hear or somebody is talking to you, it's quite different when you actually use it. That's what we felt from students who are actually taking this technology. Once they started visualizing it, once they started using it, they said, this is something that I have never imagined, because they are using it and they are actually taking this, in person and then developing that. So this gave us an opportunity to actually do more. So we started developing some curriculums, we started developing summer schools, and this is how actually we progressed from there. And we did these things going forward, which had like very fruitful results, where we had people who are coming from school levels, joining the undergraduate, and then still remembering the technology and where they were heading towards. So this is exactly what we aspire to do. So when we started working with the MBCIE initiative, one of the key things that we thought was, first, if we have to bring this kind of knowledge sharing, we need to have an infrastructure. So as Roy sir mentioned, we have set it up in a lab in here, which is, I'll show you. So the MBCIE verse. So this is the lab that actually gives you a spectrum of technology. When I say it's from the start, basic of the technology to at the high end of the technology. So there are lots of online courses available. This is what makes us very much different. So the online courses offers you probably an insight of simulation and how things work, but you don't have the exposure of actually running it through and then building as a product. This is the difference that we are making. That's why it is first of its kind. You are not only actually writing a piece of code, you are actually implementing them. You are actually bringing those products to others to showcase what you have done. And this is the learning curve that we want to bring. So, and this with great effort from both sides, Birmingham City University as well as the BZM Foundation, we have put together this lab, and now it's open, and we believe that you will make use of this to your greatest extent. So the next thing is I'll leave Golong. Being a metaverse expert, I asked him the most difficult job to keep it very, very simple in explaining what is metaverse and what are its key components. And then I'll take it from there. Golong.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Golong. You all have your T-shirt. I saw you have your T-shirt. I also have my T-shirt here. Welcome to our MBCIE verse. As Dr. Vijay has said, the metaverse is a new trend and will become a hit in the next 3 to 5 years. You may have heard about this term before. What is metaverse? Shortly, metaverse is a virtual reality space where users can interact with the virtual 3D world and also with avatars of other users. With the rapid development of this technology, the whole world is changing very fast. The way we meet, the way we connect with people, the way we do our business are all changing. In the metaverse, you can teleport to anywhere at any time in the world, like you are in the game, to communicate with people, to join all kinds of events, and as well as to sell your products. So this is the power of this future technology. What you see in front of your monitor, in front of your laptop, your TV, will be taken into a next level. It will bring you a more interactive and more immersive experience in your life. This is metaverse. And how can we take this opportunity of metaverse for our purpose? There are 4 main components of the metaverse technology. Vijay, can you move to the next slide? The opportunities in the metaverse mainly depends on how efficiently you can make the most use of metaverse technologies. Next one. Yeah. The opportunities in the metaverse mainly depends on how efficiently you can make the most use of these metaverse technologies. And to build the metaverse, there are 4 key components. The first one is the metaverse engine. It is used to facilitate the creation of the 3D experience and to build interactive applications. The second one, interactive objects. These are the fundamentals of the virtual world interactions. The interactions among objects determines the user's interactive and the immersive experience in the metaverse. The involvement of the virtual events, the communications between the users, and the interactions with the digital world are all developed based on the interactive objects. Thirdly, to make this interaction happen, we need to use immersive technologies. These technologies are used to create and deliver a new level of focus and realism that greatly enhance the user's engaging nature of the experience in the metaverse. And this immersive technology generally refers to VR, AR, and XR. Last but not least, the NFTs. NFTs are short for non-fungible tokens. They are used to provide valuable digital properties and to ensure that the transaction in the e-commerce are done in a more secure way. By using these 4 key components, we are able to build our own metaverse. We will cover these metaverse technologies in our MBCIE verse programs. And Vijay will introduce you more about the metaverse programs in the later. I will pass this back to Vijay.
Thank you so much, Gulong. So let me introduce the first program. So this is Introduction to VR. This is the program we focus with the school students. So whatever fundamentals Gulong has explained, we are actually teaching these fundamentals not through a traditional way. When you come to the lab, you're going to work for yourself. That's the biggest difference that we're going to bring. So you're going to work for yourself to build your own application. So this is where we actually prefer to teach, and this is what we will actually be doing. So what are the things that you would cover? We have 4 quarters. It's a 16 weeks program. Again, each quarters is divided into 4 weeks. You'll start from the basics of how the gaming engine works, how to develop an interactive content, and how to bring that interactive content into a 3D environment, and then take it to an virtual reality classes and extended reality classes. So this is what we aspire to actually teach you. And at the end of the program, we would love to see some fabulous designs. So, sure. Then the next program that we are offering is Build Your Metaverse. This is for professional people. Again, this could be for people who wants to actually extend their knowledge, who are working in the organizations, or who wants to do a startup, or who are running some business and they want to sell probably their bags or their products in Metaverse, and they're still wondering how. This is the program that we would like to offer. And this program we are launching in a couple of weeks. This program would be a very intensive 4 weeks program. And in this 4 weeks, no programming skills required. So anyone can join and then build their metaverse. And we have actually stuck with all open source, not using any license based. So we will teach them how to actually get their metaverse running. And these are the programs. So all these programs are made available in our website. So I would request all of you to support us with this true initiative. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you very much for taking us through the design of the programs. We have 2 leading educationists, I said. Let us hear from Dr. Paramjeet first for a few minutes on how the schools are opening up to the possibilities of technology. Dr. Paramjeet.
Respected Sunil Kanmunjalji, Dr. Prem Kumar, my colleagues from various institutions, esteemed guests, teachers, and dear students. A very good morning to you all. It's indeed a pleasure to be present here in today's session. There was an educationist, John Dewey. He stated that you cannot teach the children of tomorrow the way we taught them yesterday. So we have to change. And technology has gone a long way. More so during the phase of COVID, the technology grew by jumps and bounces. And our teachers got trained in technology overnight, I would say. And when we talk about this metaverse, it is taking digital technology to the extreme. We were in awe of internet. We were so happy with having internet into our classrooms but then when we see metaverse, internet seems very primitive in front of this. Internet was just 2D static platform, and in this metaverse is something which is immersive. A child can actually go inside and feel the things In fact, when, as Dr. Prem Kumar was mentioning, I came to see this lab, I was totally swept off my feet by seeing the things here, what all is going on. And I was so happy. I said, my children must learn this. So it's something that all children must know. And in this gathering, when we are here, we have a mixed lot. We have students here, we have educationists here, we have business people here, we have the employees, the employers here. We must, all of us, each one of us should understand the huge potential that this metaverse holds for all of us. Students should see future professions in this metaverse. What are they going to do in future? They can build their own profession just at this stage. They could start building a profession for themselves. The educationists, they can just ensure that how the teaching learning can be more effective using this metaverse. And I think there could not be anything more engaging than using metaverse in your classrooms. And teaching, the whole teaching learning becomes so, you can say, eventful, and the children will not forget what they have learned once they are actually in that environment. For example, if they just, we talk about, Akbar's regime, and a child actually visits, he's actually a part of that regime, and he sees the social, cultural, economic, everything around. He feels those vibes when he's being taught through this technology. I think these are the experiences he would never forget. And for people who are into business, they could skill their labor through this simulation. I think this has taken, metaverse has taken simulation to the extreme. You can skill labor who still do not have the proper skills using this technology. And I'll not wind up. And before I have to say something about the Munjal family, because I've been associated with this family for the last 3 decades, more than 3 decades. I know how progressive, how visionary they are. Getting something like this to a town like Ludhiana definitely means a lot. It is because they have some philosophies in their genes which they keep following. Sorry, sir, I just want to say this. When we have a gathering like this, we say that there are 3 spiritual principles for success. Spiritual principles, I'm saying. One principle is that you should ensure the people around you keep growing. And this family believes that the people around us should keep growing. Because when you have intentions like this, that people around you should grow, people will pray for you. They will, pray that you grow more. We also want to grow. So this is one mantra they have. Sir, I've seen this. Second is that the money keeps flowing. They are not holding money with them into projects like this. In fact, please give me 1 minute. When I came to visit here, I told my coordinator, why don't we have a setup like this in our school? We could have this for our own children. She says, ma'am, it's not so easy. It requires a lot of input. So that money keeps flowing. Money itself is a very restless energy. It has to go. So when they keep putting money into projects like this, it keeps flowing back to them. So it is a process which is an ongoing circle. And the third important thing, the humbleness, the humility. Keep bowing to the universe for everything that they have. I think you get more back. So these are 3 simple spiritual principles which I've learned from them, from this family. And I must congratulate you, sir. And I wish this project gets more heights. In fact, we had so many children who wanted to come. I had to tell my coordinator, let's have batches, batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, and so on. Batch 2 is already ready, sir, once they are done. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy you mentioned the 3 mantras. And Sunil ji is actually personification of the 3 mantras. I mentioned earlier his vision, his thoughts, if they get embedded in our society, they penetrate in our society, I think will transform very soon. Now I request Dr. Vandana Shahi to please come, and in a brief while, Sunil ji's time is precious. So Incidentally, Dr. Vandana just got the National Teachers Award. Congratulations to her once again.
Very good morning to one and all. And I have to wind up early as Sir has ordered. And it's an absolute honor speaking in front of such august gatherings, especially Shri Sunil Kanti Munjal. It's difficult also because he is the encyclopedia of multi-disciplines, in fact. Thank you so much, Dr. Prem, for giving me this opportunity. When I was given this topic that I have to speak about the technologies of 21st century, I was little confused because I thought the speed with which the world is changing, if I divide this century in 4 parts also, even then every quarter is going to witness the kind of changes which would happen in 1 century in the previous century. So that was, I was reading an article, Technology of the Future, World at 2050. So if we see in terms of years, it's just 28 years away from now. But if we see how the world would look like at that time, so it seems like ages away. It's altogether a different world, like James Bond's movies, much ahead of time. So a few things I would like to share with you, like our nano robots would connect our brains directly with the cloud, right? So the information right now that we are having from the smartphone, we Google from the smartphone, our brains would be doing it directly through our nervous system, and we would be having that immersive virtual reality experience, right? Secondly, these nano robots, they would extract the memories of our loved ones who have passed away and then augment with DNA sampling of that person and would be able to produce a very convincing virtual version of that person. It's a reincarnation. It looks like it's just an imagination. The things have the scientific backing also. I'll give you the article reference also, because, you know, once upon a time, video conferencing, video calling, this also was kind of, you know, we never imagined about that. But today, as ma'am said, internet looks like primitive. These look like primitive only. We would be able to charge our phone with the power of plants, energy of photosynthesis, and space travel. You all know Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk companies, they are already onto it. Ma'am, I was thinking, sir, like these days we issue no objection certificate for foreign travel to the students in summer vacation. Probably we will be issuing the NOC for the space travel. We don't have objection to Mr. So and so going there. I mean, this is the word which how it is going to look like. Who is going to do that? Children, you. The children sitting at the back, you are the ones who are going to do that. And let me tell all of you, please, this word which you have just visualized, it seems very different to us, but to them, it doesn't that much because they are the digital natives. When we were young, we used to cry. Even our children used to cry when they were young. We used to give them rattle, junjuna. But screens were placed in front of them as specifiers. So their brains have already processed it. And we all know that brain development, it takes place maximum in the first 5 years, rather in 3 years, because the neuron connections, those synapses are made at that time only. So they are already into it. They're not going to stay away from the technology. So what is the need? The need is that we as elders have to change our spectacles of seeing technology as bad, as threat. It is not. Technology is required in the future. I mean, this article has shown why metaverse is so important. We are living in the VUCA world, which is volatile, which is uncertain, it's complex, it is ambiguous. And to address that, and by the way, there was one more prediction that half of the jobs would be vanished and maybe many more new are formed. So there are no future-proof careers, but future-proof skills are there. And these are the skills which we people are going to provide, you know, I mean, through this MBCIE. Mr. Vijay has very well explained about that. So this is what is actually the next word, the coming word, and it's very important to catch them early, the brain development I talked about. Why do we go very far away? We have seen the child prodigies, tech child prodigies in India also. I won't mention that, sir, because they already know. I would just like to mention about one, Sri Lakshmi Sundar. She made the first youngest web designer. She made the first website at the age of 10 years. Same way, there were two brothers who have made 10 years when you people were playing the video games. They made the gaming apps, and actually they are there in the app store. So we have to catch them young. And my request to all my fellow principals that it's being in the education sector, we get to know a little early. So it's our duty to connect with the parents and to influence their mindsets also, to tell them that this is how the world is, because then once we tell them why, I think what and how they are not going to question, and they will get to know about that. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vandana. As you have seen, our principals on the cutting edge of technology. Without wasting any more time, because I know Mr. Sunil Munjal has to leave. He's already late by 10 minutes. Sir, you're welcome to share your thoughts. As I mentioned earlier, Mr. Sunil Munjal has 3 passions: education, technology, art. And he is a rare combination of these 3. And we are actually very privileged to have him with us today.
Let me first compliment and congratulate all of you and MBCIE for conceiving and setting up not just the event, because the event is in a sense a game starter, as both Gulong and Vijay explained to us. The future is here today. At BCM, we have been discussing this, as Rai Saab said, now for a few years. We need to imagine the future and try and create it for ourselves here today. I was actually going to talk about the metaverse, but I will not do that because it's been explained well enough by the experts. What I do want to talk about is Punjab as a state. The people of Punjab, those of you who are a little bit older will know this. Those of you who are much younger at the back may not. Punjab was a leading state in this country. For a long time, it was literally and actually the #1 state in the country in terms of progress, in terms of GDP, in terms of growth. And Ludhiana district had the highest per capita income in India as a district for about 20 years, 18 or 20 years. Now you may know that it slipped from being #1 to #3 to #5 to #12 to #14. It's now 17. And unfortunately, it's slipping down further. So what is it that we need to do to ensure not just that we stop slipping, but that we actually come to the forefront of where the action actually is? There are clear examples in the world, in India itself, of how those who fell back figured out a way to leapfrog a few generations of development and got literally to the front of the line. Our own telecom revolution in India, I can only call it a revolution because there was a time, and again, I'm saying the young people may not even know this, when to get a telephone connection in India took months on end, sometimes even years, to get a telephone connection. And then when you had to make a trunk call, calling somebody in a different city was called a trunk call. It could take hours, and we had to book something called a lightning call if you were in a hurry to talk to somebody. And along came the digital technology, our wireless telephony. In India, became literally the most efficient, lowest priced service in the world. Today, We have over 1 billion digital identities. The Aadhaar card, it has 9 different attributes of each one of us captured in a data bank. You have over 1 billion bank accounts, and you have over 1 billion telephone instruments available, mobile telephone instruments available. If you just think of this is what they call the jam trinity. If you just think of what you can do with this, it has transformed our lives already in ways that we could not imagine only a little while ago. But where we can go is significantly higher and better than this. The metaverse, as we are now hearing again and again, is no longer a fantasy. It is not just an idea. It is a system and a tool which is here and now. And it's available to those of us who choose to take advantage and build our future ourselves. It can help in just so many ways. It can help in designing a home. It can help in selling a car. It can help in designing an education program. There is almost no aspect of our lives which will remain untouched by this technology. It is the internet, as we just heard, to the power of X. They used to say that people will not be able to sell automotive products or a home or other things on the internet because people need to go touch and see and feel. So what happened? They designed a technology called the nose. I don't know if any of you people have heard of this. In your system, on your laptop, in your computer, you can actually get a smell of what the other side, what they're trying to show you, what it might smell like. They have a small device where you put your hand and you can feel what the fabric that you're seeing on the other side feels like. So those technologies are available. They're not widely rampant around the place, but they're available. But this is one which is going to overtake the world like a storm. So those of us who are smart will learn to adopt it and use it for ourselves, because otherwise you get bowled over by technology. And I will repeat a term I've used very often. There is a wall of technology coming at us continuously, all the time. This is literally and actually like a road roller. Either you're sitting on top of the road roller or you are the road. You will get rolled over. The smart ones are saying, I will use it for my benefit. I will improve my own capabilities. I will try and do better than I'm doing today for myself, my colleagues, my family, in whatever is my chosen profession or my passion. Because it is available for using for the arts, for culture, for theater, for writing, for reading, in all aspects. An avatar of yours can do things, demonstrate things, which you may not be able to do sitting in one place. So the possibilities are immense. It appears almost endless. In fact, we do not know enough about how many possibilities there are and what all we can do with this. Which was the reason we felt if we are to be a progressive educational institution, that BCM must do a few things which are legal and will allow all those connected with us to benefit from this. We are fortunate and blessed that we are able to do this. That we are in fact not doing it ourselves, we are only facilitating. It will be experts like Gulon, like Vijay, and many others who will actually do this for you. And again, they will only be your guides. Vijay said something very interesting. I don't know how many of you noted that you will do it. You will design it yourself. So in a way, you're going to design your own future. I've often said this for industry in Ludhiana. Now, I don't consider students of your age too young any longer, because I do know some people of your ages. Can I ask, what are the ages of the students here? Anyone? Yeah? You're 13. Okay. Who's the youngest here? Sorry?
12-year-old child.
Okay, thank you. Please sit. Please put your hand down. So 12, 13 is no longer considered a baby. If you think back a little bit to when we were about that age, you would get, in a sense, in a serious conversation, you would almost get disqualified that you cannot be part of this conversation. Today, we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-olds running businesses, actually running businesses, successful ones. Because more and more people have begun to realize the access to knowledge and information is immense. It depends on each one of us, what we do with it, how we interact with it. The government of India has made the single biggest revolutionary change in India in the education system by introducing the new education policy, which also, interestingly, talks not of academics being the only part of education, which talks of adventure, of sports, of debating, of competing in sports as being part of your education, building skills to do things, to make things, learn by making and breaking. One of the initiatives, as Dr. Prem Kumar was mentioning about the arts, one of our foundations is building a very unique art and culture center, which will probably be one of the largest in the world, if not the actual largest. It has 14 initiatives. One of them is a children's museum, where we are saying we should be able to make and break things. Because what you can learn by doing, you cannot learn only by listening. Each of our senses behaves differently. The messaging to the brain is different. And as Dr. Vandana Shahi said, by the time you're 4-year-old, 80% of the brain is fully formed. So after that is only exposure and experience, which forms and makes us. So this is a very, very unique opportunity. I have to say this, not because we have set it up, but because this is an opportunity which will allow individuals, and this is not only for students, by the way, this is also for academics, it's also for industry leaders, it's also for people working in companies and businesses. It is literally for any and everyone to take benefit of. And as you said, you got one batch ready. We will welcome every batch to come in here to expose them as often and as much as possible. And I would encourage you to go beyond your own network to allow and invite others to come in here as well, because this is a fount of knowledge. This is what we ought to be doing, not providing this to a limited small group, but open it up as much as possible, whether it's students or it's others. And there are, in any case, 3 parts to this overall initiative. One of them is to do with industry, actually 2 are, because one is an incubator for startups, which will be just around the corner here. And other than the education programs, the formal education program will start next year, is the one where we will work with helping small industry solve its problems, regardless of what the problem is. So it is a fairly comprehensive initiative here, but this piece, I think, will be at the core of pulling this forward, of creating a facility which is unique. And I'm not saying we want to be the only one. We are the only one right now, and I'm hoping many more will also come up, because that's a benefit. When you build a crowd around a good thing, it actually helps grow the size of the pie, so many more people will benefit. But until then, this facility is here. It is available, and I hope people will take advantage of this. I want to make one more comment. I had actually thought there would be many more people from industry here, but I do want to make a comment, even though there are only a few, that I hope and wish the industry, especially the small industry in Punjab and the region around us, will understand that there is a benefit to pull yourself forward, because very often we hear criticism of how bad the situation is, how poor the economy is, how much of a recession there is going on in industry. I hear this constantly. And I sometimes wonder whether it's become just our style of communication. But here is an opportunity. Leapfrog literally 3 to 4 stages of development, because we feel we got left behind. And I said, we have. Punjab as a state has slipped. So it is real. So there is something that we need to do rather than just point a finger at the government and others. Each one of us needs to make our own effort. And here is a tool available that we are hopefully offering to as many of you as are interested. And I would hope that we can spread the word of what this can do, how it can benefit our own companies and businesses to make ourselves more competitive, more efficient, and also allow us to do new things, to do new businesses. That's another opportunity which will come out of this. These enormous amount of business opportunities will come out of this. So while you're 12 to 13 years old, you will learn how to use this, how to build your own programs, how to build applications, how to use these applications. You have the AR available, you have the VR available, you have the XR, all of them are available here. Since this is starting today, I want to wish the entire team and faculty good luck. And the first batch will always remain the first batch. So congratulations to all of you for taking the leap, for having the faith in taking a leap. But this is a leap into your own future, not anyone else's. This is a leap of faith only in yourself and for yourself that you've taken. I do hope that you will set a good example for others who will follow after you have finished. This allows you to do this alongside other things. It's not, as you know, something which will take up all of your time, but it will take up a lot of your attention. And I'm hoping when you're not here, you will still be thinking about this, because it's not just educational. It is absolutely interesting, exciting stuff. It embraces you. It gets you involved into the possibilities of what all one can do. And again, as I said earlier, none of us can fully define the possibilities. It is so immense. And that is the unique benefit of this. You will define how far you will go with this yourself. We will only be a facilitator, and we will provide you the tools and the guidance where required. It will be a soft touch guidance. Vijay, I presume that's the way we are planning to do this. And that's the only way to do this, because to learn by doing is literally the best way to retain that new learning. And I'm glad that the Vice Chair of the Education Board is here. And I'd like to offer this also as a facilitation to the entire system. Please feel free to bring in your colleagues to come and see. Feel free to invite other educational institutions to come in and take benefit of this. And I'm hoping that we will be soon at a place that we will not be able to accommodate people. We will have less facility than those wanting to get in, so that we are forced to expand this. I think that would be the good thing to do. And once again, my compliments to Rai Saab for having conceived this, to Dr. Prem Kumar, who are partners at Birmingham City University. An amazing partnership that has been set up, which is looking at multiple dimensions of creating an ecosystem which will benefit from the very young to the not so young. Good luck and all the very best.
I just saw students from Kundan Vidya Mandir. Welcome to MBCIE. Without taking any more time, I know Mr. Sunil Munjal has to leave. In fact, he's late. I request Mr. Ajay Sinha for a brief summing up and vote of thanks. Ajay?
In 3 minutes, please.
3 minutes.
Sure. Namaste, Honorable Sunil ji and Dr. Paramjit ji and entire community who is sitting here. And unfortunately, I am not there because of the certain pre-commitment which made me to remain in Delhi. Otherwise, I would have been too happy to be there. And it's my pleasure to share with you that I spent my career in corporate and industry, and whatever my learning had been during my college days, it took a lot of time for me to start understanding that learning when I came to the corporate industry, but not so today. This particular event is organized for the purpose of the youngsters to start with. And I personally feel that whatever we see visually, whatever is picturized in front of us, that remains in mind rather than what we read in the textbook. And I think this is what MBCI in collaboration with BCU has done under the leadership of Sunil Ji and Mr. Rai and Dr. Prem Kumar. And thanks to them for offering this opportunity to the young India and young Ludhiana. And I'm sure that the learning of this young Ludhiana will be far more fast than what is expected coming from the college and coming from the institutes. And that is what is going to give a boost to entire education system as well as the learning of this young India. So my sincere thanks to again to MBCI and also to BCU to bring in this opportunity for the youngsters in Ludhiana, as well as it will spread not only in Ludhiana, it will go to Punjab as well as to the nation also. And that is the need of our to ensure that yes, whatever is the new education policy being cast by the government of India will become a success. Thank you for so much for everybody to be joining here. And thanks a lot to MBCI as well as to BCU for organizing this event. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I am happy to share with you. We also have Mr. Pankaj Verma from Stempedia, which is a startup into educational technology field. And we have media representatives from various organizations. Thank you very much for joining us today. And from time to time covering what we are trying to do here. That message is very important. And thank you for taking this message to the masses. Thank you very much, Sunilji, once again. Thank you.
Yeah, आप कीजिए ठीक सुना है आप प्लेटफॉर्म आइए टेक इट वन पे
नहीं बैठा